Hold it like
this?
No!
No! What?
Yeah!
You're doing this way.
Wow!
All right.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
We're back at the office edition for, I think, the last day today. We still got to do these shower walls, and that's what we're doing. They're a PVC, like, clip-together system by 6'3" tile, so we don't have to tile. I just had to repeat what Jamie just said because it was so awesome. He's like, how does Venmo work? Where does the money go?
But where does it go? And what do you do with it when it's there?
So if you guys think that we're all, like, technologically advanced because we're on YouTube,
No.
not. He doesn't even know where Venmo money goes. So this is one of the PVC panels. It has a simulated like 3.5 by 16 tile pattern that's CNC cut or laser cut or something into it that we will later grout so it looks like tile. Now, if you remember, we installed shiplap behind where all of this is going, and you could use like water resistant drywall or backer board, but this will also work. We're gonna stick it right to that. This is our first panel. We're gonna do the back wall first, and it measures 58 5/8 is what'll fit in there. This panel measures 59 3/4, and what I think we ought to do is cut a little off of both sides so that the pattern is centered. What do you think? 1 1/8. So if we take off 9/16 off each side, that should be even and the right width. Definitely easier than cutting tile. Now let's check it with a level. Right now we're trying to decide whether I want to take 1/8 inch off of that side to level this panel or shim this side up 1/8. And Jason had the great idea to check both of these sides to see if, like, if we lifted this, if this is also falling away, then we're going to have to lift it even more. So we're just checking all of the tub now with a level, which we should have done probably before right now. We've got our panel shimmed up level with some shims. Just cardboard. 3 pieces there, 1 piece there. And we decided it was going to be better to have this gap underneath anyways for either like grout caulk or some Lexel, white Lexel, like some sealant. Leave a space so to have somewhere to go. To stick the panel to the wall, we're going to use construction adhesive. And I read all the tubes on the Lowe's shelf to find one that was compatible with PVC. And some weren't, by the way. So this one is. We're going to lay it to it. I like that this is in small sections. We did something kind of similar once a long time ago where it was an entire panel and it was stiffer than this and it was really hard to get it to stick like it wanted to, like, I don't know. But this feels like it really stuck good. I've got some clear PVC cement and we're not gonna use that for obvious reasons. So Jason's got a little art brush and we're gonna brush it on the tongue so that when we stick this second piece on, they glue together chemically and it'll seal watertight. And I think this company, 6'3" Tile, has a demonstration of them making like a watertight box out of these panels with just that connection. So I think it's gonna work pretty well. I about freaked out, thought I got blue, but Jason said that paintbrush had a little blue paint in it left over. They do make different colors of the PVC cement, and I don't know the reason for that, but we got clear. Okay. All right, we got that slid down. You can see it leaves the same grout line as it goes in, which is nice. Stick it. We're almost done with this shower.
Well, good. I should go back to town for a minute and wait a few minutes till you get done.
We're gonna rip the top panel in here so that it comes in below the window, obviously. And we're gonna do an even tile, so it looks like 11 3/4-ish will get us about to here. And then if that's too close for this window trim to be a full 3.5, we'll just rip it down to 3 or 2.5 or whatever so we can get this up a little higher. Actually, that may suck right here too, right? Let's find the escutcheon plate and see how big it is.
Oh, you're gonna have to explain to me what a escutcheon plate is.
Or I think that's what you call it. They're the little shroud. I just want to make sure it doesn't hit like halfway on and halfway off. Yeah. That would be terrible. I've done a couple tile showers where it ended up I had to cut like a flat spot on that to make this work and it looked terrible. Amateur hour. So, let's see what's right there. Oh, I think it'll clear. It's not very big.
Dude, Eric's in there making up words.
What did you come up with this time?
He just said escutcheon. Do you know what that is?
Discussion, yeah. It's when you talk about something. Isn't that
yeah.
the
Oh
same?
yeah, like me, you were discussing right now.
Yeah. I'd like to discuss something with you there, Ray.
Yeah. Okay.
Discussion?
I think that's the name of the round thing that goes around where your shower net comes out the wall. There you go. Discussion.
Discussion.
I'm not an idiot. Well, I mean,
Well, you are an idiot, but you might be right on this one. That's what it's called? Who come up with that?
plumber. Yeah, we're just discussing before I make this cut how good I have to make the cut, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
The sluter doesn't wrap around the ones I got. It just caps
So
it.
you need to have a grout joint at the sluter.
Yes, and I need to have a pretty darn good cut by hand on this, which I think I can
What
do.
do you plan to do?
I'm just gonna cut it.
Right, and I know, but where? Where exactly?
I'm gonna cut it flush to the top of that one.
I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do it?
Yeah.
I would save the. I would save that grout joint
You would?
or half of it.
Half of it.
I would ride the right side of your blade against this tile you're wasting.
Dude, now he's making it way more complicated for you.
No, well,
I'm following.
I'm afraid if you touch this side, it could cause
Nick
a
out.
chip.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
want to get the table saw?
Nah.
No, I got it. So I'm just gonna put a solid bead of this adhesive at the top edge, and as soon as we install this, we'll just pull it back out just enough to slide the sluter back in behind it. There it goes. I'll put a little heavy on the glue there, but we've got our panel sitting level now, and I'm looking at the gap to this panel, and it's not quite even. It's about what I want up top, nothing at the bottom, so I'm gonna take the panel back out, go 1/8 to 0 on that edge so our grout joint there is nice and even.
Joints line up.
Everything's aligning. We were just talking, and I was telling Jason that you can install this right over old tile in like a 70s looking green tile shower or something. Stick it right to that tile, use a thicker trimmer at the edge, and have a brand new looking tile shower.
Dude, that's awesome. Wow. My mind's going.
Yeah, buy some 70s houses, fix them up, make money.
I wouldn't even grout it.
I am gonna grout it. We're gonna have to miter this sluter right here, and a good way to measure it is to the long point. So I just took this little scrap and aligned it how I wanted it here, and then aligned it how I wanted it, there. Trace the outside corner, and now we can just take a hard number to that long
Are you
point.
gonna do a vertical mark as well? Or you already did
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Golly.
All right.
Welcome to the party, Bob.
Well, if you take a little scrap, you can just stick it in there and make a line where you want.
You're about 10 minutes behind it.
That's the second time he's done that.
I know. Well, it's because he's halfway paying attention.
For me. Wow. Yep, getting wet.
Today's video is brought to you by Vever, where you can get tough tools for half the price, and we've got a ton of their tools. We've been using them on the job site. They've been great for us, and today we're checking out their car refrigerator. I'm gonna call it a cooler. And first off, having a cooler that is a refrigerator for me is so much better than ice. You can keep your stuff cold as long as you want, and your stuff doesn't get soaking wet when the ice melts, which is always a drag. This 12-volt cooler can cool rapidly from 77 degrees Fahrenheit to -4 Fahrenheit in just 90 minutes, and it has 2 different zones, so you can have a freezer section and a cooler section at the same time. This cooler refrigerator is also energy efficient and quiet. It operates at less than 45 decibels, which is quieter than your house refrigerator, if you don't know. It also consumes just 0.7 kilowatt hours of energy per day, and I've run this thing on my battery generator for like days on end when I'm camping. Also, once the fridge reaches your set temperature, it switches to the lowest power level to maintain your food coolness, and the power consumption is equivalent of something like a car navigator at that point. Additionally, you can keep food cold for several hours, even unplugged, and usually that's what I'll do. I'll plug it in at home and let it get cooled down, throw it in my truck, drive where I'm going, and then plug it back in. It stays nice and cool throughout that time. It also has a 3-level battery monitor to keep your cooler from draining your car battery totally dead. The refrigerator has an LCD touch panel that allows you to monitor the temperature and adjust it from -4 to 50. It also has LED lights inside and a charging port for your phone. It also has a recessed storage container for your wallet or phone and a bottle opener. This fridge has a 38-liter capacity, which is a lot of food if you don't know, and it has nice wheels and a handle. It's easy to get around. I think it weighs about 45 pounds, which I think is less than your regular cooler filled up with ice. So if you're looking for a great way to have ice-cold drinks and keep your food fresh without having to deal with ice, this is a great cooler. It only costs $250.99, which, by the way, is way cheaper than most of these high-end brand coolers you'd buy that you have to use ice. If you use code VVPRO, though, you can get an extra 5% off, and that's a great deal. Thank you again to Vever for sponsoring our video. Make sure to also check out their activity of the month down in our video description, and let's get back to work.
30, 7/8. 30, 7/8.
Definitely don't want to wait much longer than that to get this in here. It's already starting to set up just a little bit.
Oh gosh, careful. Oh gosh.
Oh my, dude, Millie, are you kidding me?
That's pretty nice.
No, come on.
We're working on the left side now, and it's got these penetrations where the plumbing comes out. We're gonna use a hole saw to cut through. Yeah, another good reason to not use tile. That's a lot harder than tile. How big a hole we need for that top one?
Yeah, we got it right here.
We got this one here. I think it's 4-inch.
I'm gonna go with a 4-inch for that upper hole. It's a 4-inch square, but a 4-inch circle will work.
Dude,
on that.
That's pretty big. You're gonna need a big escutcheon.
I think we already had the discussion already today. For a long time. Cut.
Oh, it's dead.
No.
The heart's dead.
That's right. We'll run down to Walmart and get you another battery.
Oh, man.
Real quick.
Johnny Brook actually gave that to me.
Oh, did he
And
really?
I don't know what I did with the charger, and it's had the same battery on it for like a year. Charged.
No.
It might go again if I just give
I
it a
bet it
second.
will.
All right. And this drill bit's from Temu.
Is that right?
This is like a $2 or $4. It's probably not that cheap.
Did Dad buy that for you?
No, I got it from Temu.
Oh, from actually Temu.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Dad buys a lot of Temu stuff. Do you know
Does
that?
he?
Yeah, he does.
I didn't know
Bike parts.
Huh.
Bike parts. Unbelievable.
The guys are checking out my new ladder. You're gonna love this thing when you get to stand on the platform. And they also sent us some rolling aluminum scaffolding to check out too. This is a safe, smart access, reaching new heights. There you go. It's kind of like a grown-up high chair.
That's exactly what it is.
And it'll go way up from there. You're at the lowest level.
Oh wow, pick
You
me
need
up.
to feed you?
I don't know. This is pretty awesome. I mean, I have literally never seen one like this. I like the diagonal braces. That's pretty sweet.
Jamie's working on the little floor trim piece here, and you can see the front of this tub is not straight. So he's gonna sort of balance out what's sticking out on both sides and then scribe it, cut that curve, and reinstall it. Is that right?
Yep, that's right. This stuff will not bend, and even if I could bend it, it wouldn't stay bent because I think we're just going to stick it down with some Lexel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would, of course, spring back straight, and there's no chance. We don't want to fasten down through it, really, because we don't want to pin the edge of the flooring in.
Yeah, and it have to be like concrete anchors.
It would. Concrete below this, it's a tough situation. So scribing is our first method here to try. I got a little bit of a high spot right there.
Yeah, right there.
And then I'm going to actually hand plane. That looks good from there to there. I came in from both sides, actually, and that's where my saw cut came together.
Yep.
I don't want to go too overboard here, wasting time on this little piece of trim, but I got to show you something I'm doing that I think makes a difference. I'm taking the hand plane and actually beveling this edge because this was a very sharp piece off the table saw.
Yeah.
That 90-degree outside corner, it could cut you. Like if you step out of the tub and drag your toe across it,
yeah.
now you're bleeding. Okay, so I am actually beveling that edge so it's nice and soft feeling to the touch. And I'm actually hand planing. You can see the table saw marks in the edge of this piece. This is just the edge you're gonna see. And it's not that bad, but I'll show you right here. This part I already hit with a hand plane. See how like nice that looks?
Yeah.
It just takes a second, and I'll show you kind of how it goes here. And I'm just taking as little off as possible here at a time, just shaving it, and then just working my way backwards until I see that all of that table saw chatter is gone, right? And like I said, I think it's worth doing. It's not terribly difficult. It's ready to go. Rub on that right there. You feel it? All right, I got a little bit of white Lexel on the bottom of this. I'm just gonna stick it carefully. Had to make sure I didn't get too much because any squeeze out would be visible.
It work?
Okay, yeah, I think so. Just give it a little press there, a little bit of pressure.
Awesome.
And I think it's good.
I kind of feel like I'm turning into Jamie a little bit here, but I've got a couple spots where this tub isn't real straight on the top edge and it's like touching. I want there to be an even grout joint. So I'm going to take this as a spacer and run my oscillating tool and just make sure this grout joint at the bottom is all perfectly even. I think it'll be worth my while. Sweet. Yet another thing we need to do to finish this job correctly is to make this plate a little lower from where it is, because right now this is not actually shutting. I thought it was, but I kept coming out here and the door would be open. I'd be like, dude, I thought I shut that. So it was kind of feeling like it was shut, but it wasn't. Man. So I've been having to deadbolt it, and that's just how the alignment of the routing came on a pre-hung door and jamb.
I actually see on this where your deadbolt has been hitting the wood right there.
Yeah.
You see it?
Oh yeah.
From there to there. So it's low by a pretty good amount as
so
well.
do that too.
Yeah.
Jamie's got a Dremel tool.
Oh, right, yeah.
With a little rasp or a file attachment.
It's a little twisty file, yeah.
Okay. And
hopefully it'll cut it.
see what happens. This is going to be extremely loud.
I did a little micro bevel there for you by taking the tool and just doing a real quick edge like that. Mm-hmm. On my own personal house, a bunch of my deadbolts and like latches weren't lining up. My keys weren't working properly because I had tried to get like somebody to key the matching keys at the store. And anyway, I hired a locksmith to come in and to fix my locks. He said, I don't know how your locks ever worked at all, because there's a certain number of pins, I guess, that lock into your key. And he said they were all wrong. They got that fixed. And then he had a battery powered Dremel like this. He went around the whole house in like 30 minutes. He did all of my things like this that weren't fitting right. And at that time, I had never used a Dremel for this purpose, but that is the tool for the job.
Yeah,
it makes it so easy. Can you imagine trying to do that with a file or something?
That's what I was going to do.
It's an exercise in futility.
Nothing left to do except grout this thing. I'm using this pre-mixed grout, and it actually feels like sanded, even though I know it's not sand, because it says no sand. Anyways, this stuff is more elastic, and I know that it has very short working time, so I'm going to do maybe this much.
Yeah, I wouldn't do more than that.
Yeah, so this is, I don't know. I just hate the thought of just getting this completely everywhere.
Was that your idea to use the little squeegee thing?
Yeah.
Like a little Bondo putty knife?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's still just getting everywhere, but...
That's a pretty good idea, actually. I like that.
Yeah. So you can see that where they've routed it, it's very porous in there.
Yeah.
And I guess that helps this stuff to stick in.
I bet it does. I was actually noticing the same thing.
Oh, wow, that's going to look nice. I'm using this regular grout in the corners here. Normally I'd use like grout caulk, but this has like a super no cracking formulation or something is what it says. So we're going to try it, but it's really hard to get the grout shoved all the way in the corner. So I was going to show you what I ended up doing was taking 2 trowels, and I'm basically sticking one there, and then I'm sliding the grout off, and then I'm using this one to push so that it shoves it full. And I think that's going to be the key to longevity there. I guess the big question is, does it look like tile?
Dude, and I'm not just saying this because we're doing it at your house. It looks exactly like tile,
Okay.
but better.
Yeah.
Because all the cuts are perfect, all the lines are perfect, all the joints are perfect. There's nothing...
Sounds like you're saying I suck at tile.
Well, no, I mean, you can be the best tiler in the world.
Yeah.
There's going to be some cuts that aren't perfect, and these, everyone is...
Yeah. I think 6'3" Tile better be ready to field a bunch of traffic on their website after seeing this.
Yeah.
We're done like in a day, like from start to finish. Not even, probably half a day.
Yeah.
Pro tip, don't wash grout like that down a drain. It'll clog your drain. Wipe it out. All right, that's pretty much a wrap for what we need to do. The plumber's still got to hook up final plumbing. Electrician's got to do the lights.
Dude, that gives me the heebie-jeebies like cotton balls.
Yeah.
That squeaky sounds.
Oh, yeah.
I just only imagine you're dreaming up another giant project at your house. What is it?
I don't really have one. Just getting this thing furnished. Well, I
Yeah.
almost bought a BMW yesterday for $4,000 that needed about 3 months of work.
Well, you beat me to it here. What I was going to say is I think a big garage for you.
Yeah.
I mean, your truck is sitting out in the driveway, gets rained on. You got to have a spot here somewhere.
I mean, down in the woods.
I mean, you could pull in right here, big suspended slab
All right.
system, nice view.
Yeah, nice view.
I'm here with Adam this morning and we're hooking up our smart toilet finally. And I think it's a pretty interesting mounting system. You can't bolt this thing to the flange. Like most toilets, you run a bolt in there and then a nut down over top of the porcelain of the toilet. Here, we're gonna mount these brackets that go there, and then you run a screw through the toilet and you basically can't miss. See that? Lots of options. Just gonna take the driver's seat here and figure out where I want the remote control. It can mount to a wall. I don't know, that's a little bit of a...
I'd say there's air right on the
Right
side
there?
of the van.
Ooh, that might be nice right there. I think
Just
that-
above your toilet paper
Yeah,
holder.
I think that's it right there.
I think this is the last thing. And I thought about leaving it because I'm a contractor and that's what we do.
Left one piece of baseboard out. And it's literally been 6 months. Oh, how you doing? Since we started, 6 months. Still missing that, and I'm gonna do it right now.
All right, guys, we are not totally done because the sofa that I thought was coming today did not come. They canceled but didn't tell me. So I sat around here all day waiting for it, super excited. And then I called at the end of the day because it didn't come. And they're like, oh, we canceled. So I'm a little disappointed today, but overall, not disappointed at all. The office turned out great, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Here we go. So you may not know it, but my wife is almost done with grad school. She's about to graduate from Vanderbilt University with a degree in psychiatric mental health. And she'll be a nurse practitioner. So congratulations to Sarah. It's been a ton of work. And now she has a nice office space to do her charting and finish her schooling, just a couple weeks more, and be able to get away from the family, do telehealth if needed. So that was one of the main reasons I wanted this office. Was not even for me, it was for her. And this has been a great place already for her to get away and do her work where it's quiet. Over here was gonna be this nice sofa that comes out into a sleeper bed. And we have guests coming tomorrow. So this is a major bummer. Sorry, Justin and Amy. I guess we're gonna do an air mat or something. We have guests like once a year, it's them. And that once a year is tomorrow and the couch didn't come. So we're gonna figure that out. In here we have the giant closet, which seems giant for the space. But we can get the workout equipment in here, Peloton, whatnot, so that if we want to have just an office or if we have guests for a night, it doesn't look like a gym. So that turned out really great. And normally the Peloton's like right here. So as you're working out, you have this awesome mountain view, and I've been really enjoying that as well. So this was really nice to have a full-size bath in here, and this is the only regular size tub in our house. We only have like showers and then this stupidly sized tub upstairs that we can hardly use because it takes too much water. Here's the finished look. I hung the mirror, shower curtain, towels are on the wall, toilet paper holder hung, toilet paper sitting there. So it's pretty much ready to go. And I do want to highlight this Haro toilet.
This is the coolest toilet that I've ever experienced in my life. It's clearly hands-free. You go to sit down in the seat, it's already warm right now. I don't know how it does that, but it's really nice to use. I mean, besides me touching the seat for the video, it's hands-free. Push the button and that goes up and down, and it's got a fully functioning remote control right here. That's got your water temperature, air temperature, seat temperature, nozzle position for the bidet, pressure, and then you can flush it and do all these settings. You can even do a dry. And if you guys have never tried a bidet, I'd really recommend it, all jokes aside. It's where it's at. It's the way of the future. I almost feel like a barbarian if I go on vacation and I don't have a toilet with a bidet. So thank you to Haro. This is the coolest toilet I've ever experienced. And that's pretty much a wrap. We took a space we didn't really use. We turned it into something that we can use all the time. And it took a lot longer than I thought it would take. So thank you guys if you watched all the videos. Thanks for building with us. We'll see you on the next one.